There we go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lazy Mini Painting. I am Laz, the person behind the camera, and tonight I've got a big dinosaur. Got dinosaur. The reason I've got a dinosaur is because I don't have a fire prism and I want a fire prism. So just while I'll give everyone a few minutes to come in, settle down, make sure they've got everything. I'm going to go join portrait mode. If I can actually find the email. Good evening, Blodzilla. How you doing, man? And Buzzard, welcome in, mate. Welcome in. So yeah, tonight is the let's build an expedite fire prism. So I've got lots of different cook in the oven, like polymer clays, so I can maneuver it and manage it and make it. And why is because it's the delay on it. Good evening, Ezra. Hello. And Twisted and Fox and wow, lots of you have made it in this time. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in. So building what's gonna be the framework for where the Eldari sits on his back, and then obviously the fire prismy thing I'm gonna try and have coming from his head. How I'm going to do that, I haven't a bleeding clue. I just know that it doesn't matter what colour of this I use, because I'm going to spray it all. But I've got to make it, and I've never used this stuff before, so I've got no idea what it's going to be like. So let's have some fun trying to figure it out, shall we? I hope everyone's had a good weekend. I know I'm a little tiny bit late tonight. I can't even open the packet. Why can't I can't even open a packet? How am I ever going to actually use the clay if I can't even open a packet? I don't know. This is where my being an idiot comes in, because you're supposed to just unwrap it like that. So we do have a clay. Now that's quite firm. Is that clay? That is quite firm. You've been looking forward to this kit bash. I know. Ever since I did say a while ago that when I got because I got this in summer, didn't I? And that was what I got it for. I got it originally for that plan, is to make it into an Exodite fire prism. That was the intention when I got it. Now, I'm using this tray just so it doesn't pick up all the crap that's all over my desk, because let's face it, there's a lot of crap all over my desk. There's loads of it, and we're going to use various different things that I have on my desk as tools, such as paint pots for rollers and things like that. Now, I do need to make it a lot longer because it needs to be able to curve. Essentially, I need it to cover this big mold line. Oh, you did have a very good weekend, didn't you, Twisted? You was at the tournament thing this weekend, and congratulations on the bronze axe in the painting competition. I'm still saying it was rigged. You should have got a gold, but that's my opinion, and obviously I wasn't on the judging panel, so it doesn't really matter. Right, so roll this out so it is flatter and longer. And then hopefully we've got the strap then to go around its stomach, or at least half the strap, because I've got to still bake these to actually make them go hard. So I actually need two straps, one to come round this half, and then one, well, in fact, if I could get it to just fit on there, so if I actually just get it long enough so it does go round underneath, then I can fill the rest up with the actual piece on the back. But I still need to get that long enough and even enough to go around the middle. So, again, pushing it together, and then we'll roll it out again. Using the ivory. See, those of you who wonder, why have I called anyone who joins Patreon an ivory desk pot? It's because ivory is my most useful thing. I'm even using it as a roller. That's why ivory. Just in case anyone was wondering. It is the most important and well used. Wrong way around. Once I've done this though, I've got to get it into the right position and then get something it can go in the oven on in that position. I didn't think about that bit, did I? Good evening, Lee. Good evening. So that should roughly be how it kind of fits on. I just need to get something that's going to be safe enough to put it in the oven to bake it into that shape. I didn't think that far ahead because I'm stupid. I am very stupid. So I'm going to go get tin foil, and Sparkles is going to shout at me because of the sheer amount that I'm going to use. I'm already getting dodgy looks. In fact, that wasn't a dodgy look, that was more than a dodgy look, that was a very disapproving look. But I need something to hold the shape. So Sparkles is looking at me like I'm really odd now. Why have I got tin foil? Because I've got to put it in the oven, that's why I've got tin foil. I just need it roughly the right shape, so it doesn't need to be exact, it just needs to be enough to hold it in the right position for when I put it in the oven, which hopefully this will. Because after I've baked it, I've of course got to glue it on, which may require a little bit of breaking and re-gluing and breaking and gluing and breaking and gluing. No, I am not wearing the kitchen file like Valrak. I am not wearing that kitchen file like Valrak. No. That's weird. File Rack Fridays is just an odd thing to even. Right. So, it comes up to about here. Now we've got to make something that goes on the back of him there, but he's going to be quite chunky. So we're going to use a big blob of it, and we're going to try and make the start of the cockpit area. No, it's only the start of it because we're going to have to do it in multiple segments so we can bake it. See, that's not going to be big enough just on its own, but if we can get the first part, which is like essentially the base section round here, and then we can layer it up on top and then take it off bit by bit. I hope. That's the idea. So we need an Eldari shaped thing. So let's start with a ball, if we can. I hope so. Here we go. Hello, Ali. Welcome in. And then I'm going to squish it a little bit, and then just kind of pinch it to get kind of a tearish shape, and then flatten it out, but not too much because we still want it to have some depth and some see, is that actually going to work out to be big enough? I don't think it will. I don't think that's going to work out to be big enough to... No, that's going to have to reach up a lot higher, isn't it? So if I was to have that on the back, it has to reach down to reach them. And with that being the length that it is, that's definitely going to have to be split into two. So if we take that bit off there, and then we have it so That goes right. So we're going to have to do 2 sides, which is 1, and then I'm going to have to do another one about the same length. As I said, this one isn't long enough or big enough to actually do what I want it to, so I'm going to have to mix it with more, and then he'd probably wear it, in fairness, Twisted, if you made that. He would probably wear it. It'll save him a lot on his little foil cap thing that he wears already. Now let's see if we can roll this out now to the same-ish thickness and width and everything to the other one. And then again fall over. And then once we fold it all like that, and then we roll it out again. It's more like bloody cooking this than how else, isn't it? And once I think I've got most of this done, I'm going to go pop the oven on, because that needs 15 minutes to have that on like that. And then once it's had 15 minutes to heat the oven up, these go in for about 15 to 30 minutes. Joey! Sweet Diplodocus, not Sweet Diplodocus, this is a terrifying Triceratops, mate. Terrifying. Have I done something? Usually I don't get that. That is a very good idea, that buzzard, actually. But that would require me doing something like using my head. I could make the actual shape. You are right. I could make the actual shape out of the stuff itself, out of the tinfoil, and then mould it round to do it. But that would require brains and me to not be me, essentially. Now, is that approximately the same length as all these? So now that's longer and a damn sight lot thicker. That is longer and a damn sight lot thicker, is what it is. So what I could do with is something to stop it being what it is. In this case, I'm going to use the back side of a knife so I don't actually cut the tray that it's on. And be careful not to put my finger on the blade, because that would actually cut my fingers off. Then get rid of the blade, there we go. Remove the excess bits. And then we should have roughly 2 straps-ish. And then we can start layering up the back properly. I really could do with getting that the same as that. So let's add the extra bit that we took off to this and let's do it. Ah, there's lots of stuff being said and I'm losing track of stuff now. People are talking. So, rolling. And yes, thank you for putting Twisted's channel up there, Ali. Rolling out. See, I normally don't mind baking and stuff, but polymer clay is a whole different matter in the level of ball game. At least it's not drying time for a change. At least we're not waiting for drying time for a change. I'm happy about that. It's still not quite long enough. So let's see if that'll help make it long enough. Who's had a granddaughter? Who's a grandparent now? That's news. That's good news. Well, some people say it's good news. Some people go, I don't want to be a grandparent yet. Well, you don't get a choice. Your kids choose when you're going to be a grandparent, not you. Sadly. Because if all honesty, if we got to choose, then we'd never be grandparents. Joey, you're a grandparent? Congratulations, dude. Congratulations. Again, is it? Just out of curiosity, because I'm not sure if this is the first time. Oh, the second time. Let me take those ends off. And then we need to get those edges up a little bit. Oh, this is getting awkward. There we go. So we now have two straps. Two straps. Penelope, that's a lovely name. Yeah, no, same thing here, Joey. I am not having more kids either. Well, the good thing is, if I do have to break this to glue it on a bit, it's not going to be too bad to sort out. But just as a base, I can put it in the oven now. That should work. Right. So I'm going to open the other green one, just so I can mix it with the rest of whatever I've got of milk, the rest of the green one. I hope both parent and baby are doing alright. Hopefully. Right, now let's get some heat into this so it actually works. And then we can take it from there. I got 2 straps and a pack of shells. Now the shells were supposed to be for Tyranidy stuff. What I need from this is to be a large enough section so that it can have something layered on top of it that'll look like a cockpit. Thank you very much. Thank you. I shall show those off with sparkles. She'll like to see baby pics as well. Let's face it, women like baby pics. Right, so hopefully that's going to be the nice big. I know it's slightly oddly coloured at the moment, but it will look better once it's all sprayed into one. So we've got what's going to be the base section for the seat. It should hopefully come off and be able to hold its shape. So I can just manoeuvre that over onto a tray. Excellent. Now we need... Oh, how the hell am I going to do a... I'm not quite sure how I'm going to make the prism thing at the end, because I've lost the big gem that I was going to use. I have lost the big gem that I was going to use, so I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to make the actual gem. So I'm just going to have to quickly check up how the hell I open a packet. I know we opened the other one earlier and I can't remember how I opened it. Oh, it's this bit at the side here. You peel that bit back like that, and then it all comes open. See? It's not actually going to be... I'm going to hopefully try and get it more like an actual fire prism's dome. The actual top section of it. So that means this bit's going to need to be thicker. Well, denser but shorter, so it's going to go on top of that section, but about that. I'll try and show you. So once that goes, there's going to be another section up here, which is going to have the rider actually in it. So in this case, this is very much more eggy shaped like this. And then in this case, I'm actually going to get the spudgy tool and try and flatten this one out as much as possible. And it's got to be a separate piece because it won't do in the oven. Then hopefully I can actually use this to sculpt in some kind of windowy type shape. I hope. I hope this works anyway. So then when it bakes, hopefully it will have a window in it. Or a couple of windows. How I'm going to paint the glass, I don't know. Because it won't actually be real glass, will it? It won't be clear transparent plastic like some of the other vehicles get. This is going to have to be painted in. And then we hopefully it fits nicely on the top. Seeing what I'm doing on this side does make it a bit easier. And then, come on. So as you can see, so there, as I've sculpted little lines in to make the windows, and then that sits on the top there. So there is actually a place for the rider to go. And then I need to make some kind of fire prismy thing to go in between the, either mounted on the horns or in the horns, but some kind of focal point. And then I can start trying to put wires and things on it. With me trying to make it as a fire prism. So that can go there. And that can go there. And then that's those two pieces, and this bit is going to be what I'll start working on the next piece with. Ah, the fun and joys. So once I've got the pieces to go for the prism and I've got ready, I'm going to go put the oven on. And then I'm going to bake these pieces up. Some of them only take about 15 minutes, some of them will take about half an hour. You saw an awesome tournament Space Marine list this weekend. Oops, all dreadnoughts. All he feels he was dreads, Invictus Warsuits and a pair of Tech Marines. Oh, that sounds like a fun list. I'd rather go the Terminator route and just fill all Terminators and go, right, have at you. I've got range down. I've got lots and lots of range, and I've got lots and lots and lots of melee, so come on then. Will be the response for that one. I don't care if you've got Death Dreads, I've got Thunder Hammers. Or I don't care if you've got Dreadnoughts, I've got Thunder Hammers. And I've got Assault Cannons. I'll have the lot of them. Alright, so let's knead this together, because I know I'm going to need a fair bit just to do the prism, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Let's just say that. So let's roll it out nice and flat, and then I can try and cut out the right pieces, I hope. So I'm just going to try the easy way first, which is pressing it. And then if it peels off, which it does quite well, we can start rolling it out again. Rolling it out. This time I'm going to use, is that flatter? I think that's flatter. That's not big enough, is it? Nope, no it is not. That is not big enough. I need something. I need something just to help roll it out. It's not going too well. Terminator heavyweight list with your Red Scorpions, first company. Obviously my Stone Bears, Stone Dragons, I'm not sure which one I prefer. But I do have more of a bear theme now going on in my Space Marines though, so I think Space Bears would be the better option for a name for them. Or at least a more fitting name. So yeah, my Space Bears definitely got a first company going on. Between Terminators and Stern Guards, I can feel the reasonable amount of first company veterans. Alright. So this needs to be a triangle. It needs to be, what, about 5 long triangles and 5 short triangles. So if we make that across there, now this is going to be the hard bit. I want to divide that up into 5, don't I? So how long is it? Because I've got to think about this now, because I've actually got to divide it up properly. It's about 2.5 inches, so it's about half an inch per triangle, give or take. So approximately there. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we've got the markings. Now we just need to cut out the triangles. Cut out lots of triangles. Lots and lots of them. I say lots of them. 5 little ones and 5 slightly longer ones. 4. These ones I do want to be a little bit longer. So if I just slice this bit off, if I get it straight, you absolute buffoon. That's better. So peel that bit away. And peel all that bit away. Hopefully without pulling any of the triangles off that I've just cut. Don't. Ah! It had to be the last one, didn't it? It had to be the bleeding last one. See, I've got Land Raider and Storm Raven. I'm not keen on the Storm Raven, in fairness. Out of all of them, out of all the potential transports, the Storm Raven is probably my least favourite. So, chop off those triangles. Hopefully these are actually going to glue together in the way that I want them to and not completely mess up. There's always a possibility they're going to mess up. There's always the possibility they're going to mess up. So in this case I want to mark the roughly where the eighths are, I believe. Yeah. Give or take just a little. Mil or two. And then we cut out these triangles. And then we try and remember whether 150 or 130 degrees in the oven. I think it's 130. I will be putting the extra triangles on as I cut them out just to make sure that I have enough. And then if not, then I'm going to have to redo some. I don't like having to redo things if I can help it at all. Good night, Ali. You have a good sleep and I hope you have a fun day at work tomorrow. So that's lots of little triangles to be hopefully glued together into a form of a gem at the front of its head. So I'm going to have to go stick all this lot in the oven now. Well, not now. We'll stick the oven on and then stick all this lot in the oven. While I'm in there, I might as well put the kettle on. And I'll be back in a moment with a tray to put it all on. Just give me a moment. Don't worry, Ali. No worries. You come as much as you're here as much as you can be, and it's always appreciated. You have a good night, Joe. I'm gonna go get the oven. Not go get it. I'm gonna go turn it on. Oh, I forgot to check the temperature. Where did I put the box? Better throw it away, haven't I? I'm pretty sure it goes on at 1:30. Almost 100%. Almost. Ah, there's the box. Let's have a read, shall we? Oven bake at 130 degrees for 15 to 30 minutes. Baking time may vary according to clay thickness. Generally used for 15 minutes per quarter inch, 6mm. Right, so I'm going to have to put the green one in first, the green and blue ones in first, and then put the rest in after. Right. I can do that because then I can look at other things while I'm doing it. So I just need to wait for that oven to heat up and go get a tray to put them on. And then we can carry on. Now, this is the only tray Sparks will let me use because it's the one that's most beat up and battered out of all of them. Probably the oldest tray we have in existence. See, absolutely battered. So, no, they go on with the triangles. It's the green thing and the blue thing that wants to go on first. So now I know where they are and they're ready. Now I've got to think of how I'm going to mount this and how I'm going to do wires. Because wires, I might actually have to use real wire. That sounds stupid, doesn't it? What do you mean? Of course you're going to have to use real. I know, but real wire doesn't go quite the same as normal clay. Because clay you've got to mould first and get in the right shape and cook, and then you've got to cook, then you've got to glue it on. So what else do we need? I've got that section, I've got the strap, I've got the thing on there, I've got what's going to be making up there, and I've got wire in the kitchen to start wiring things together. I know what I need. And it is a bloody crap load of them. And it is spirit stones. I'm going to need a lot of spirit stones. Because even the... Oh, what are they called? Exodites. That's it. Even the Exodites are not having the best of times when it comes to reproduction. And that means everything goes into a spirit stone. Trying to get the right bloody size, however, is a pain. It's a big pain. Thank you very much for everyone who's continued to watch and who has popped in to watch as well. Thank you. Hope you're all having fun. Or at least have an idea of what I'm working on. If not, please feel free to ask questions. I will answer them as I nip in and out to put things in and out of the oven. And then we'll find out from there. So we've just got to make lots and lots of spirit stones now. Lots and lots and lots of spirit stones. So we're going to roll it. Squishy a little bit. Find out if it's about the right size or if I've took too much off. I've took too much off. Warm up, you see, it's only 130, and compared to other ovens, that's not that hot. Normally it's 180. I'm used to doing the oven at, so it should be okay. I'm disconnected from my chat. I'm now successfully connected to my chat. Okay, thank you. Why was I disconnected from my chat in the first place? I have no idea. But it looks like none of the messages have changed, so I've not missed anything, which is good. We can at least make about 8, so we can have like 3 on each side going down the... I felt 4 on each side going down the straps. And seeing as I have got some that are slightly bigger than others, I'm going to try and make at least some the same size. So that they're not too far out on each side, and there's not that much difference. Odd things happen in my house. Things that certainly make me perplexed sometimes. Especially when you look around and you see one thing and you look around again and there's something completely bloody different. Right, check the oven's turned off and go put these 2 in. Yeah, it's ready. Now I've got to keep an eye on the 15-minute timer, so I know to go back in and put all this in and this in and anything else that I'm making needs to go in as well. Just whether or not I've got the shapes right is what I've got to check now. More making sure that everything is going to actually line up. I may be getting slightly different ones than what I should have doing it, but these ones look like they're at least the right shape and size. Some of them just need to be offset slightly, and then the good thing is if it's not exact, we can get it close enough and always fill it in with filler afterwards when I get filler tomorrow, because I'm going to have to remember to get filler. Good evening, Francois. Good evening. You set me an impossible task, by the way, just to make sure, just so you know that I haven't forgotten. I've still not been able to make them tank traps within that time limit. It is fucking solid. To the point where I think it's actually, I think you were right, it's bloody impossible to make 10 tank traps in 30 minutes. I do think you are right on that one. But hopefully these will make nice fire prism crystal thing. Once they are all nicely glued together. Well, once they're all hard and then glued together. Ooh, yes, I did just say that. That should hopefully be enough to make the actual prism for the fire prism. The... Oh, what are they called? I just said what they're called. What are they called? It has been a while since we had that conversation, but it has not left my mind. It has not left my mind. I have tried, and me, that's hard. That is difficult. That is very bloody difficult. Oh, right. I'm just playing a bit of a waiting game at the minute. Is there anything that I need to clean up on this? Because obviously I'm going to be covering this mold line with the straps. Hopefully. So that should be okay. There is a bit of a mold line there on his FOD that I'm not happy with. Bit of a mold line up there. See, it's just taking that line off it. I'm not happy with that one, so I'm going to remove it with a mold line remover, of course. That way it can just look more like a battle scar than a big, dirty, great big mold line. Which is kind of what it looks like at the moment. Or it did look like. Now it just looks like a battle scar. Is there any more? Yeah, there's one up the back of his head a bit. That's not too bad though. Because we will be repainting all of that. How long has the stuff been in the oven? I've really got to keep an eye on this. Get an Aegis defense. Ooh. That's not a bad idea, actually. I think I've got... No, what I do have is the bits off my... the Sky Shield landing pad? Well, I've snapped all the bits off it, so I've just got the flat bit, and then I've got the... I could use them. Ooh, that would work. How long have we got left? 5 more minutes, and then we get to put them in. 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes, then we get to put the thin things in. Now, what other bits do I need? Do I need? I could do with getting my Eldar bits out, really, couldn't I? Do we get my Eldar sprues out, just to see if there's any Eldar bits that I'll just go on it and make it look nicer. Question is, where are my Eldar bits? Those are empty tubs. What's in these two? Bases, okay. This has Eldari bits in it. It has some Eldari bits in it. So we have some cloaky sections that I could cut up. We have some shuriken cannons, some shuriken catapults. So we do have some nice Eldari bits that we could cut off in there. Although this seems to be quite a small selection of what I do actually own. I should have a lot more than this somewhere. Is it in this one? This could have all sorts in it, that's the problem. Including the Yanari bits. No, this one appears to be Necrons. It doesn't mean I can't use bits like this, like lash whips and stuff. Ooh, there's a nice big Eldar gun. There's even a storm shield in there. I don't think a storm shield's going to look good, but a few of these things with wires and stuff on them, definitely useful. So if we find any more stuff like that, that'll be good. That's got a couple of wires and stuff on it. That's got some very odd ones that look quite nice actually. I can get a few that look like they're going to be at least half decent enough to use before I go start looking through the room behind me, which is a good chance I'll get injured, to look for the rest of my Eldar stuff. So that's going to be the bits box that I'm going to use once I start gluing things together. Right. Now, we open this door here, and then we go, oh, where the crap are they? What's in this bag? We'll start with one bag at a time, eh? And we'll see what we have in it. This is my Imperium tank things. Is it? Oh no, that's an Eldar. There's some more Eldar bits, at least. Grey Knight bits, Grey Knight bits, Grey Knight bits. Even though I know I don't have a Grey Knight army, I do have a Grey Knight bits. Space Marine, tank, 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 tank. And yeah, oh, tank bits. Oh, and movement trace. Looking for me Eldar bits. Not sure where they are though. His scooter doesn't like me standing on it. A box with armies. Another box with armies. And that's a box with a Beyblade. And this looks like another box of spruce of some description. What I'm looking for. That's guard. That's Eldar. There we go. I think they should be the last of my Eldar sprues. I hope they are. Or at least a couple that has got some more of the weapony stuff on it. No, it's just the rest of my Eldar army. Okay. Let's go check the 15-minute mark. Very, very nearly. Very, 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 very nearly. So, seeing as we are very, 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 very nearly, I do have the Eldar bits box, and I do wish to snip a couple of these off into it just to make sure I have enough bits. Just to make those embellishments. At the moment it's quite plain. There's nothing to make it really stand out as Eldari, but little bits like this and these, they will help. For instance, using the twin shuriken catapult, I think it is, possibly use that as mounts for the crystal. The shuriken cannons can be used to as accent pieces as well. Well, I feel I'm going to have to use a lot of filler to get the desired effect. Now there are some banners, backpack symbols, a head. I think I was going to take anything. I've been taking the banner and backpack symbol. Just as a form of, just as some way to, you know, make it stand out, stop it looking quite as bland and plain. But the melee weapons and the pistols and stuff, not so much going to be needed. They won't be using these much. So let's hope we have. What's that? Oh, that's Votan. That's not Votan as well. So let's hope we have enough bits for accents in there. I may even be tempted to use a little bit of swirl off here, just to help emphasise the energy around the swirling thingy. We'll see. We'll see, because I don't think I'll be putting that model back together again anytime soon. Right, let's go get all these onto that tray. You stay there for a minute. Wear it as an app, please. And then I've still got 5 big blobs and that one left. But all this needs to go into the tray. The oven's hot. No point laughing at me, just the oven's hot. What did you expect? My face off. All the little triangles have got to move over. Hold the oven good and cool down. Right. Hopefully you can all hear me. If you can't, I am sorry. Can't take the camera with me. Not power. Stones. It's very stones. About another 30 minutes we blew it all up. What's that? So another 15 minutes in the oven, and then after it's gone the 15 minutes in the oven, it's 15. I don't think I'm using it at the moment. I'm probably better off with cling film to do that with, but never mind. Do I have a bag? I do have a bag. Do I have an unused bag? I do have an unused bag. There we go. So I'm going to put the rest of them into a bag just to help keep that freshness locked in. Oh no, I have 6 left. I have the red one as well. Now I may be doing more stuff to this. I'm just seeing how the base starts working. So we can get the main section working and then see how I need to improve it from there. That's much better. I can deal with that. It's if I do all the work and then realise I'm completely naffed up. That's what makes it stressful. So there's my, they can go up there out of the way now. And of course retract the knife so that I'm not cutting myself. So let's have a look, see if there's anything that I can see. Bits of cloth and caping are looking quite fun to try and fit on. And there's lots of it. So we'll find some nice bits. That is essentially all I'm doing at the moment, is looking for some nice bits just to add accents to the actual model itself. So as I said, like some of the bigger cannons, just using either the cannon strip or the back bit. Potentially using these for the mounts for the actual prism itself. Again, more cloaks, that's good. More got accenting pieces, lots of wires, and that weird wonderful. I know that's a Necron thing, but it's close. It's close. And now that is a big gun. That's from the Wraith Lord. That one might not be being used. So I do have 5 of them, so if I can do it right, I can, properly. I do have lots of bundles of wires and things, so at least 2 of those. Wherever it's gone, so at least 2 whiplashy thingies. So I know at least getting power to the big crystal. And then lots and lots of little accenty things. Let's face it, the more we can put on to make it look Eldari, the better. I'll try and get it as looking as Eldar as we can. So any little accent things that we can find, we might want to put 2 or 3 of them on. We might put them all on. We don't know yet. But we can't put anything on if we don't find them. Probably supposed to have gone with Bicor and Eldar Avenger, Dire Avenger or something. The problem is all the Eldar bits are so bloody tiny. I'm never quite sure if it's an arm I'm picking up or an accent piece, or they're just so small and fiddly. I think that should do it for bits to be building up for accents and making it look good. I think for now, anyway. No, I'm building an Exodite fire prism. That's what I'm building, Francois. So this is the chassis, and the crystal's gonna come on here. Some like clothy shuttle bits draping down over the sides and over the legs and stuff, which is why I've pulled all these out. And the back of the big blue thing is gonna get the flag, which I'm not actually sure. What I might do is put that on the back, but snip the top off and put the flag on top of, kind of on there, to make it stand out a bit more. Or I might attach it to the bottom of, I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to put something across the backs and make it look more Eldari. Right, let's go check if the 15 minutes have been up for the thin ones. Not quite yet, so about another 10 minutes, which is not too bad. Yes, lots of snipping and snipping. Lots of snipping and cutting and gluing. Lots and lots of snipping and cutting and gluing. Speaking of which, I will need the super glue and the snips. See, I do have these sections as well, which could be used to potentially run from the back to the top, just to show that it's got like energy running through it. Or I could use sections of this if I wish to, and then it'll give me a very nice base spare. The actual model itself, I'm afraid, is in bits, and I've got no idea where to put it together again. Pardon me. See, now I could use the fabric or the thin paper and PVA glue method to get the cloth. I could actually do that first, actually. just to... No, that would take forever to dry, that wouldn't it? That would take forever to dry. So no, I'm not going to do the PVA with tissue paper to make cloth. I'm not going to do that because it takes forever. I can't do it out of the polymer clay because it'll flatten. What I could do with is some actual fabric to do the PVA with. That would be better. That would be better, wouldn't it? Ah well, we'll find out. I know we've only got a few more minutes. Well, we've got about 20 odd minutes left to go. And I'm not sure how I wish to snip these up. Well, first of all, I want to take any of the sprue off it. Let's make sure we clean all the sprue bits off first, and then at least I can attempt to line it up from thereafter, because there are some interesting bits. Especially where the cloaks are concerned. Some of them are skins, some of them are just pure flat, some of them look like... I'm not too sure what's gone on with the portrait stream. If for some reason that's gone all weird. Let's see if when I bring it back. Yeah, there we go. If it's not displaying right for me, then I get concerned. Because obviously if it's not displaying right for me, then it's not displaying right for everybody else as well. So when it's sat on my phone going whirly 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 with the little circly thing, that tells me it ain't going through like it should. I was wondering what was going on then. It is bin night. People are putting their bins out, ready for tomorrow morning. I wonder what the clutter, 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 bang, boom was behind me. And considering behind me is outside, it's a worrying thing to hear clutter, 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 bang, boom. So let's snip these bits out of the end there. So hopefully these can make the mount itself for the actual fire prism thing. The prism bit of the fire prism. So let's take those nubbly bits off underneath that you would normally use to attach it to a jet bike. In this case, it is not being attached to a jet bike. It is being attached to a Triceratopsy. Ha ha ha. Now that was also the oven going bzzz, come and get your shit out of the oven. Pardon my language, but that's what he was saying. So I'm going to go get the stuff out of the oven so it can cool down. Get the oven blower. And now let it all cool down. That is red bleeding hot. Not gonna lie, that is absolutely roasting. It's just come out of a 130 degree oven, for crying out loud. Of course it's roasting. Of course it is roasting. Right, that's that bit done. I've clipped all those 5. I've got 6 cloaks. 6 cloaks. I have lots of little bits just for accenting. Lots and lots of little bits for accenting wires and potential mounting points and things for... Right. Okay, I think I know where we're up to. I think we're doing alright. I don't think there's anything going to go too badly wrong if it does. He says with gritted teeth because he's not 100% sure. Right. Move all that over there. And now I need to go get the tray. Finish making myself a cup of tea. and transfer stuff over. So I'm going to stick the break screen up for a moment. So I can't type in my own bloody chat. This is frustrating, to say the least. Oh, EB, you got your video out about choosing a Warhammer army. In your run. So we actually put that in, and then I can go do it on this side first, which is basically unblock that, not unblock it, undo that like that. Then go click on there and then put that in. I shall be back soon. I'm just going to quickly transfer stuff over the tray, make myself a cup of tea. Shouldn't be that long, hopefully, and I'll look forward to seeing you all back here soon. Well done. Back. Watching and waiting. Got the tray. And we have lots of other things. Pop that there for a second. And we'll sit back down and we'll move the Mod Podge. And we'll move the base coat. And we'll move my cup. And that's when we have to come back to here. And then we undo that one. Hello. Welcome, I'm back. Thank you very much for waiting. Anybody who has, that is. Thank you so much. We have all the pieces back now. So this is the part where we get to try and remove them and then glue them into place. Well, that should go pretty well. Obviously we need super glue, otherwise it's not going to go at all. And I know I had super glue. I got my super glue out. I specifically got my super glue out, but where the friggin' Nora did I put it after I got it out? You have all just watched me get my super glue out. Is it near my phone? Is it near my cup? I've not. Oh, there it is. Right at the top of my case, my tray. Of course it is. So, in this case, because there is still a bit of pliability to this, which is nice. Yeah. It's not completely locked into a single position, as you would expect when it's gone hard. But if we can glue that strap into place, then hopefully that will remain there. I think it's going to need a spot more super glue underneath. Obviously using clay and rubber means that I have to use super glue. Then we get the other side strap. Turn him round. And try and match this up to come down the other side as best I can. Which is not that actually, that's pretty close of a match up in the middle there, I've got to admit. Closer than I expected. Ah, no, you're not supposed to run down to my fingers, that means it's going to glue to my finger now. Ah, you son of a... Ah. Now I've got to watch where the super glue is and try not to put my hand in it. Like I've just done about 4 times. Let's face it, he's not been going to... I've also glued him to that, which isn't good. Now just tuck that bit under. That bit will have to be polyfilled, because it doesn't quite meet up properly. It could be worse. Well, that should do just nicely. So there's the strap that's going to hold this in place. Now this is still really hot. But I need to put a fair bit of glue in on there. And then pop that on the back. And then, super glue burns. Super glue burns. Super glue does burn. And then, bit on there. And then that goes on the top of that. So that gives us the start off of the rough Eldari shape for where the guy's going to go on the back. Just a rough one. Now we scrunch this up into a point so we can use it as a guide to make our prism. So one, two, three. See how much of a pain in the ass this is going to be. This is going to take filler as well. This is going to take a lot of filler as well. I could probably use something more. Actually, better get use out of something that I can hold it and I can dip it in. And then I can, do it that way. Dip, hold, dip, hold, dip, hold. That's going to be the better way, I think, to actually do this. To try and turn these into a prism shape. I've never made a prism out of clay before, especially out of little bits. So this is a whole new ball game for me. Whole new ball game, people. I'm going to have to get a lot of filler though to fill in some of those gaps underneath and around the edges to just to smooth it out a bit more. I've got the base there, which is nice. But I just need something that I can put a spudge of super glue on so I can dip. I need to be able to dip the edges of these in rather than holding them and running it along it. Because otherwise it's just going to end up all over my fingers and it's not going to work. I see it's already gluing my fingers together and I've not even touched it. He's got all over my hands. It's got everywhere. There's 3 pieces. If they'll come off my thumb, please come off my thumb. Please come off my thumb. Without breaking. That's what I need you to do. I need you to come off without breaking. No, you're breaking, you see. I said without doing that. You can take my skin off. That's fine. I'm fine with you taking my skin off. Just don't break. That's what I need from you more than anything. Just don't break. Right, next 2 pieces I would imagine are going to be these 2 because they look about the right size. I'll dip that in there and glue them together in some fashion where it allows me to remove it from my thumb again. And then hopefully this means that when I dip those 2 in there, they're going to join up onto that relatively well without, again, becoming too much a part of my own body. Right, so as far as a fire prism start goes, that is going to be the end of the focus tip. As I said, I am going to fill this out just to make sure it, because it's not quite going the way it's supposed to. I am going to have to polyfiller that out. Now for the even more fun bit, which is getting the small ones. Oh boy. Alright. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I've glued that down, haven't I? And broke that bit. Yep. Good job I have a spare. This is why I cut spares. So that when inevitably I break one, because I'm turning them out to pretty much every time. Pretty much guarantee that I'm going to break one at some point. I've got 2 there. Now we just need to hopefully dip that in. I don't know how that's managed to glue to my fingers again, but it did. Find one where it's gonna match up. Again, peel my thumb off it because it seems to like connecting to me more than anything else on this planet. My hands are absolutely smothered in super glue right now. That's close enough. This is going to take a lot of filler. See, this would have been a lot easier if I could just remember where that big gem was I had. Because I did have a big gem that was ready to just go on. And I've lost it. It came with one of Mini Laz's Sonic toys. And he didn't want it anymore. So, oh, perfect, I'll have that. And now I can't find it. It's gone missing. So I'm having to make a prism when I've never made a prism before in my life. Or at least something that looks like it could be a fire prism's firing mechanism. Which this is not working out right at all. This is just being a pain. It's going to probably require more filler than anything else just to get this right now. I think that's just messed up completely. So we'll get the last one glued on and then no. That's going to have to be a bigger one just for the sheer sake of filling in a gap. Ah, get off my finger. See, the idea was there, just the function was not, was it? The function just was not there for this one. But it does give me a starting point with which where to I can. In fact, that's not too bad. That fits relatively well in there. I just need to make it the actual shape. So get rid of that bit, get rid of that bit. Get rid of that bit which is glued onto the actual tray. There we go, that will come off. That will come off, Sparkles. Please don't shout. Please don't shout. So we have the startup for what is going to be an Eldar Fire Prism Triceratops. Could be worse as far as startups go. Obviously, I've got a lot of work to do on the prism itself. But for the back section, that's not too bad. What we could do though is line up a couple of shuriken cannons along the sides. And they'll just help it look a little bit more Eldar-y. Because even Exodites use these weapons. So if we can fit these in underneath, I'll be quite happy with that. Means glue on that bit. And then fit that in there. And then glue on that bit. Put that bit hopefully on there. Come on, glue. Stick, goddamn you, stick. So if instead of putting it there, we glue a little bit onto here. Don't do that. And then if we try and not glue myself to everything again, which let's face it, it's not working, is it? There we go. There we go. So as a start, we have this. And what I probably should have done is, yeah, I've realised what I should have done and I've not done it, so we'll have to do it next time. But I'm going to need polyfiller for the next lot. And a lot of snipping and nipping. Right. Snipping and nipping this body out of here. We only want the cloak, we don't want the body. It does fit up under there, that's good. And again, we don't want the body, we only want the backpack. Well, we only want the cloak. Two at the back on each side and one at the front. So we clip off the body bits to make sure they're all gone. In this case, we're also going to clip off the top of the woolly bit, just so we can try and hide the divotty bit a bit more. There's a hole in this one at the top for something else to go. So let's gut out all that. And then glue that into place around the back. And we need to find another reasonably big flowy one for the other side. In this case, it's going to be this one. Crunch. Kaboom. Chop. With this one. First of all, I'm going to glue that gun back in a little bit better. Hopefully. Again, without it gluing itself to me. Please. Or without gluing me to lots of other things, because I do want a smooth finish on some of this. And it's just gluing to me more than anything else. Oh, the joys. The joys of kit bashing. In this case, just out and out sculpting. Because obviously I've made this a lot myself. This is the hard bit, because now I've got a maneuver that into place and pull my finger off there again. Holy heck, I have had a lot of glue on my fingers tonight. So again, snippy the backpack section, as well as the bit that's probably going to stop it from being as smooth as I want it to be. Glue on the top bit, and then do my very, very best to make sure I'm not going to glue on my hands to start with, and then get this piece of fabric in there. Come on, fit. Go in. Go in. Just get in there so I've got enough so that when I come over to this side and run a bit more glue in you, you've got a chance of bloody staying. That's a lot of super glue I've just had to use on that, just to keep them from falling off too much. Then we've got the last two pieces of cloaking to go on. Yeah, so this one's going to go on this side and that one's going to go on that side. Well, these are more corsair-y cloaks, either leather or animal hide or something, which is why it will fit with a not X-Ax. X-Ax? The ones that don't use not fully teched up like the rest of the Eldar, don't run around on Craft World. They've got Exodites, that's the one. The Exodite worlds. I knew I'd remember eventually. If one of you didn't tell me beforehand. Yeah, I don't want it too far up there because I want to be able to fill it underneath it. But I do want something to make it look like it's got some kind of protection underneath it between the tech and the animal hide. Because they're not cruel, are the Exodites. They are kind to their war beasts. Even though they send them into deadly situations, they look after them. So the last of the cloaks. Really? Chuffing, really? Every piece of pickup is just getting stuck to my hands. My fingers are getting stuck together. Right, you're doing me head in. You can come off for a second because you're just getting stuck to everything. Right, what are you? Where have you got glue that's going to stick to me? Right. I'm actually just going to put it on the model this time. No, that's going to glue straight to my fingers. That's going to glue straight to my fingers. That has glued straight to my fingers. Just go to the place that I need you to be. Thank you. Right, now let's see how we're going to get that gun glued back on in here. That'll have to do. Okay, so that's the start of my fire prism. Yeah, my fire prism triceratops. I've been going for near enough 2 hours now, and this has taken a lot longer than I realised. I'm going to have to go get filter tomorrow, so next week we'll finish off on the actual prism itself and start the front weapon system. So it comes into here, and then we'll figure out how we're going to wire it up from there to there. I may need to sand some of this and fill some more of it in just to make it look smoother. But all in all, I'm quite happy with that. What I've done tonight, we've done the main cockpit on top, which put the glue in the lid, you absolute idiot, before he goes everywhere like the Agrex Earthshake did. We have got lots of big stones to put on it should we find somewhere else to put them. But that's not looking too bad overall, with the extra cloaks and the 2 guns on the side, just to give it something else and not make it look too plain and ordinary. Oh, I know what I forgot to put on. Where is it? That's supposed to glue in there. I knew I forgot one thing, which was the banner. Let's get that on before I close off for the night, eh? Well, I should be able to put a blob on the end of that and not go anywhere bloody near it. And there we go. Now we've got the banner on it as well, just to help out. Hey! It's looking more and more Eldari as I go along. Thank you everybody for joining me tonight. I will continue this next week once I've picked up the extra bits that I forgot to pick up today. You know when there's something that you forget to pick up, and you know there is, and I remembered now, without the shops are shut, just like me. So again, thank you everybody who showed up this evening. Thank you all for questions, coming to see me, support me, hitting that like and all the usual YouTubey stuff. So please drive safe, everybody. I'm going to pop this on while I carry on chatting. I might as well. There will not be a Combat Patrol this week. I will be doubling it up next week, as I said on Thursday. Thursday there will still be Musings, Magical World of Sparkles and Oak. Next week we'll be looking to continue with our Triceratops Fire Prism proxy, and hopefully that will work out better. I know that the prism itself has not worked out too good. If I can find the actual plastic prismy thing, then I'm going to bin the one that I've just made, and we will be using that. But until next week, thank you until Thursday even, thank you everybody who's come to see me, and I look forward to seeing you then. Please drive safe.